Welcome back to another episode of Ingredients for a Better Life. I'm DNA Chef Jay, joined weekly by Dr. Robert Nettles, MD, Chief Medical Scientist and founder of the Stop and Regrow Hair Regrowth Program. Good morning, Doctor. How are you today?
Good morning, Chef Jay. I'm doing great. Today better than yesterday, and tomorrow better than today, so we're sticking around.
So to jump right to it, recent clinical studies talking about nutrition, hair regrowth. So how the value of nutritional treatment for hair regrowth. So we're going to put the conclusions of the article as well as the original article for people that want to read an unbiased result to stopandregrow.com on our blog so people can send questions into you directly if they have any. So what's the biggest myth? Number one question from the conclusions. What's the biggest myth about hair loss that people should stop believing in?
Well, I think the Chef Jay, I believe the answer that I'm supposed to give is biotin is something that a lot of people are supplementing for hair regrowth, and you don't need to. And saw palmetto is also used quite often, and you don't need that one either, Chef Jay. I think you don't really need any of the other supplements, do you? You actually need to find the underlying cause in your bloodstream, which is a molecular imbalance. And you and I are answering this question because we've got clients on 6 continents. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's in this extreme technology that we're in, this modern world. It's just so laughable how people. I'm not going to use the word topical because it gets confused with what you're using with topical, but I call it superficial things that we put on our head. I'm not putting something on our body isn't going to treat it. It needs to be treated from the inside out. So we're so advanced, but yet we can't get these basic concepts across that this is an internal fix. It's not something that you can put a Band-Aid on from the outside.
That's it, Chef Jay. So I think anyone that really, I think you got a lot of people that maybe don't really want to honestly treat it, right? Because to treat it, you have to understand the cause, and the cause is a molecular imbalance that you can only resolve with a blood test. So anyone that calls you and doesn't want a blood test, you just let them go, because you've got to get, today the human animal is going to have to get blood taken out. And I can tell you this, 150 years ago, Chef Jay, taking blood out was the treatment. Everybody thought just remove it. You and I, we love the blood, but we do care about what's inside. So instead of just letting it out, how about let it out in a lab company that we can run some ultrasounds and some x-rays through it, right?
Yep. So you talk about this cause, and most people in the world, I don't care if you're in India, if you're in the US, Canada, China, does not discriminate. These 80% of all people, all men will say, are going to present with one of these inherited, enzymes that could cause this. 20% of people will have both. Is that a true statement?
So there's no like Jeopardy? Chef Jay, if this is Jeopardy, you just won.
Yeah, so there's no running from this.
And if it's call a friend, you don't need one. I'm going to call my doctor friend. Hey, that's the other game, so you won on both of those.
So let's talk about nutrition then. How does nutrition directly affect this Nile River inside as we start treating this problem?
Well, as I was speaking to one of our Australian clients, right? We're in the United States, but we've got clients all over the place. And the Australian client mentioned to me, Doc, my 16-year-old son, my 16-year-old now daughter, her son is now 20 years old on the program, 16-year-old daughter now 18, and her 15-year-old daughter is about to be 16. She said, all of them, she said, their hair grows better when I follow your advice about the protein, small meals, because the trick was teaching them how the small intestines absorbs protein. So ask any of your callers, Chef Jay, how does the small intestine absorb protein? If anyone answers that question, you give them a free consult with me. Is that fair?
That's fair. That small intestine can only do so much work per hour. So
That's
I
Chef
will give
Jay.
them a
Don't
little
give away
hit.
all the answers, Chef Jay.
So I know you talked about the blood and how the old school medicine was taking the blood out, and nowadays when I used to go in for blood work for your yearly, you go to see your primary doctor, he checks your cholesterol, he checks your sugar generally, but mainly they're telling you at the end of that, okay, we want you to stop eating this, don't eat this, don't eat this. But I find now talking to people aren't eating enough of the things. They're not getting enough of the HDL fats, the omegas, the things that our brains are built on, the things that you know affect immunity, affect all kinds of things that people aren't getting enough of the things in their diets, right? So let's talk about how they can increase with these superfoods that affect hair regrowth and overall vitality.
Well, good thinking there, Chef Jay. A lot of times, the health community wants to tell people what not to do, and the key is, as you mentioned, is you're not doing enough, right? So people are trying to get away from stuff; they need to get into stuff. So the world isn't about bad habits, right? Everybody's got them. It's about getting into enough good habits, right? If your goal is to follow Christ and treat your body as a temple made in the image of God, you would treat yourself differently. But if you don't start with that foundation, the road goes curvy, right? So I think that's the key. So starting with nutrition is important, but everybody wants to sell you a superfood, and they want to sell you a small micronutrient. And most people, as you mentioned, haven't gotten the macronutrient foundation. Without protein coming in every 3 hours, there is no way to have enough of the resource. It's like you're trying to burn a fire and you don't want to put in any kindling or any wood. So,
Yeah,
Chef Jay, we teach our patients, clients, friends, and family that the hair grows every second of every minute of every hour based on the amount of protein in the bloodstream. So it's an everyday battle that starts with a good daily routine. And I think the price of the program is probably worth getting the 1 day of your life crystal clear and right. And we've had patients with us now going on 18 years. And not only have they had beautiful hair, they've had amazing health. They've had great spiritual lives. They know who God is, their Father. So there's a lot more to getting life right than just getting superfoods and micronutrients. You've got to first figure out what to do with the 16 hours of light that you're given every day. So we teach people how to live a better life from the inside, from your thoughts, from your intentions, from your daily routine. And I overheard Imelda's phone call. All right, what do you do first thing in the morning? What do you do for meditation? How do you pray? Who do you pray to? What's your bookend protein? What are you eating for your snacks? It's absolutely phenomenal.
yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger recently said it best. He says because they talked to him about his working out, and he's like, "I'll work out until the day I die because working out keeps me, it keeps me vibrant." And it's he goes, "I ate yesterday, so I'm going to eat today. I ate 10 years ago. I ate 20 years ago, so I'm going to keep eating. I slept yesterday. I'm going to sleep tomorrow. I slept 20 years ago, so I'm going to keep doing those things, right?" So to sum the program up very quickly for people, I talked to people. This guy Johnny in Ohio says, "Well, Chef Jay, I can't do this because I'm not in California. I'm in Ohio." It's like, okay, well, let's break it down for people how your program works. Starts with an assessment process held over 2 appointments online. One is an intake questions type thing, get to know you, get to know your history, family history, and all that. And the second, the most important, is you write an order for them to go to a local lab to get their biochemical report card or the DNA blood test, as we call it. And that the results get sent to you electronically. And there are how many lab quests, how many of these Quest labs or How many? There's thousands of them around, and they're worldwide. So then you get the results back. You meet with them online and say, hey, these are the results. And everything is done via drop shipment from your compounding pharmacy. If they need the supplement, which most likely they do, and then the coaching and all of the diet and nutrition you do like this on, through video calls. So this is anyone can do it anywhere. I don't care if you're in Turkey, if you're in, there's certain places we can't ship to, but most places we can. So it's that easy. I just wanted to sum that up for people that they're, it's not only California anymore like it was 20 years ago.
Well, you did a very good job of summing it up, Chef Jay. For the technocrats out there, we are a digital telehealth platform with a drop shipment of freshly made customized supplements based on your biochemical report card. So that's another way to say it, but everything is built around the telehealth paradigm. So everything is going to be based on a Zoom type of operation moving forward. And as you mentioned, Chef Jay, we've got the need is all over the world. The need is all over the world. No, not a lot of people have actually studied molecular medicine. The United States of America, the leading health country, mentioned precision medicine with Obama, and then we've had Donald Trump and Biden. So I don't think anyone really pushed that envelope forward, right? We're trying to get to the moon, but they forgot to build the rocket ship. So if no one, Donald Trump and Biden, are building rocket ships, you're never going to find precision medicine. And today you've got a primary care. And that's going to be, as you mentioned, generalized medical care. But no one has the intention to create optimal health citizens. That's not anyone's obligation on earth. I don't know why someone would think that. The obligation is to treat your diseases when they occur, and otherwise that's the only obligation. The other aspect is profit, and that's the problem that we have, Chef Jay.
Well, that's why we try to break through these myths weekly to, to get past, the lobbyists and the pharmaceutical companies that really just want people to get in line, take a number, get sick, take the medicine, and then next. It's big business, but if we can crack and save even a small percentage, of people, then we're doing God's work here. So, Ray, thank you so much for joining me today on Ingredients for a Better Life. We'll get this information out there, and if it's okay with you, we'll have people send their questions directly into you to respond to, and we'll get together next week for another Mythbusters on Ingredients for a Better Life. So God bless, and we'll talk soon.
You got it. Thank you, Chef Jay. I appreciate what you're doing, my friend.